Welcome to Chamber Chats, a weekly series by the West Monroe West Washita Chamber of Commerce highlighting our valued members. As always, find out more about the Chamber and our members online at westmonroechamber.org. And now, this week's episode of West Monroe West Washita Chamber Chats.
Welcome to another episode of Chamber Chats, filmed live at Delta Community College. We're excited today to have our friends at Thirsty Farmer join us, so welcome. So tell us a little bit about Thirsty Farmer. Y'all are out in Calhoun.
We are. We are a tasting room and a winery. We opened up in June of 22.
Yeah.
Rolling up on our 1-year anniversary. We're only open on Saturdays right now.
Yeah.
The public comes out and they can enjoy a tasting with myself or Savannah at the tasting bar, and we also have a commercial prep kitchen.
Sure.
We serve food to our patrons too. We do live music every single Saturday. Right now it's from 3 to 6. Local musicians. We've been doing it for almost a year now.
So you've been open for a year, but really set the stage for us. This is a multi-year process to get to where you are now. So tell us a little bit about your getting to this day.
It was a lot. It's been it's been about 8 years really. Our first planting was in 2015.
Wow.
And we planted a block behind our home, really just because my wife thought that vines were pretty, and she wanted to look at them. It really didn't have a whole lot to do with wine.
Sure.
It was just she wanted to see them, and I agreed. I said, yeah, we can plant them, and I put them in the ground in 2015. Didn't really know what we were doing, really, just planting some grapes and started learning how to train them, and little did we know, we found out a few years later, 3 years exactly, that we had planted the wrong types. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So what varieties are you harvesting now?
Now, after that block, we kind of doubled down and we planted another block closer to the house that is Lenoir, or Black Spanish. That one now is in its 5th year. So this year will be our second full harvest off of that block. And then up by the tasting room in 2020, we planted 5 different varietals from UC Davis in California.
Wow.
Came out with some hybrids, and we bought all 5 varietals and put those in the ground. So.
And are they more resistant to blight or other?
Yeah, so they're a hybrid grape, and they're more resistant to a disease that's prevalent here.
Sure.
In this area that's carried by an insect. It's called Pierce's disease, and those varietals were actually designed to be resistant to it.
Yeah. So I hate to say this, but what are the things that you've learned? I mean, I can't imagine there's a lot of trial and error in agriculture.
Yeah, so. Agriculture was a whole different turnaround. We had always planted a couple of things, had gardens and things like that, but grapes were very, very different, very new to me. Started having to learn how to amend the soil, correct pH.
Sure.
We learned a lot about that disease, Pierce's disease. The first block that I planted did take it down in 3 years. But in those 3 years, we learned how to train the vines, how to make the trellis system, and just taught us a lot about what to do to make the grapes grow the way that you want them to grow. And all the while, we were making wine in our laundry room at the time. And we had made some stuff with some grapes from California, and then I wound up tried my hand at making some wine with some pears that we had. I got a pear tree on the property and really messed it up and didn't know what I had done wrong. So that lended
all
me
trial and error.
Absolutely, 100%, and that lended me to try to figure out what I did wrong. Still didn't know, and my wife actually surprised me with tuition to
a winemaker's.
Yes, Grayson College in Denison, Texas, and wound up going there to their enology program, which is their winemaking program.
Sure.
And she and I both got to attend that, and really started to understand the chemistry behind the wine side.
It's truly amazing. I get a little nerdy as well. You can taste the effect of the growing conditions of the grape all the way to the end product of the wine. It's amazing.
100%. Yes.
So now we're in production. Now you actually are bottling this. Fast
Yes.
forward, learn from all those mistakes to come out with beautiful products. What are you actually putting in the bottle? What varieties are you producing right now?
So this year we actually got to bottle our harvest from last year off of the block behind the house, the Lenoir. We made a rosé out of that instead of a full-bodied red. I just wanted to do something a little bit different, a little lighter. And we got that one in bottle. And let's see, right now I've got several different varieties in bottle. We've got 8 bottles on the menu, and a lot of them are from grapes that we can't grow. So we actually procure those grapes from the West Coast and make the wines in our facility.
Got it.
So we have Cabernet Sauvignon. We have a bourbon barrel Cabernet Sauvignon, which is a really nice wine. We've got some fun summer stuff. We've got a sweet peach wine. We've got a blackberry style, kind of a blackberry Merlot style wine. We've got some sparkling. We call it Bubbles. It's fun. It's a rosé made from Zinfandel.
Wow, the diversity is really amazing. So you all are experimenting beyond your own crops and incorporating. So that leads me to my next question. Like, where do you see yourself going next? I mean, can you even see what's 3 years out? You know?
Yeah, Savannah and I have tried to forecast that and figure out what that looks like.
Sure.
Of course, our biggest step would be going into some sort of distribution. Right now, we're direct to consumer only at the tasting room, and between the tasting room and our wine club, we've grown our wine club substantially over the past year, which helps tremendously.
Sure.
But we, there's talks of going into distribution. We also are making some hard apple ciders. Those are on tap in the tasting room.
Yeah.
I make 3 different kinds there. Patrons seem to really enjoy those too. So there's talks of maybe some cider going in can, as well as our wine products being distributed as well.
What do you think the #1 misconception about your industry is?
When we started, I had a fear of the pretentiousness of wine. And that being said, meaning a lot of people are intimidated to even approach it. Especially if they go to the store, they look at the shelf, it's pretty overwhelming. There's a whole lot of things to pick from. And a lot of people don't even realize, what some of those words even mean that's on the bottle. They see red or they see white, and that's kind of the gist of it. But there's a whole lot beyond that.
So it feels like your mission is to educate the public at the same time that you're bringing these projects.
100%. Yeah, we really do. During a tasting, we'll walk customers through everything that we're doing, talk to them about the products, and get them to understand exactly, even down to what the verbiage means on the bottle, on the label, and what those things mean. And it helps them down the road, even if they're not buying my wine, they can read a label and understand what some of those things mean.
Sure. So what's bringing you joy now? Maybe you've got a little time to reflect, and agriculture is a full-time business, but what's bringing you joy in your industry?
I would say the joy in it now is I was able to dedicate my time fully to Thirsty Farmer now, and so every day I get to wake up and really and truly do something that I'm enjoying, whether it's in the vineyard or in the winery, and I'm in both normally every day now. So it's been an interesting change for me, having a full-time job previously and trying to get this thing off the ground and maintaining my plants, my crop, and all that was beyond a full-time job.
Last question I have that's just an interest. Do you think your tastes have evolved as you've been doing this?
Yeah,
looked at?
Big time. Yeah, Chris. I think in the beginning I didn't. There was a lot of red wines that I probably wouldn't even step towards or grab off the shelf. And
was that because they were just didn't appeal to you? Wasn't sweet enough? It was too bold, too complicated?
Probably boldness. Yeah, boldness, dryness. Some of the tannin structures in some of those wines were different for me. But yeah, my palate has definitely evolved, and so has some of our patrons that come. They kind of start on that sweet side, and all of a sudden
Move to complex.
they'll slowly migrate towards the drier wines and the ones that have a little bit more going on, the complexity in those wines.
So recently we hosted our Small Business Awards, and
Yep.
you guys were a winner. We were so proud to honor the work that you're doing and truly bringing something innovative as an entrepreneur to our environment. Do you want to reflect on that for a second?
Yeah, I attended the awards because I felt like I needed to be there. I wasn't going there expecting I really wanted to be in a room with a lot of people that are like-minded, and got to socialize and talk to some of those people. And when you guys started describing the award winner, I was immediately getting emotional because it really brought things kind of full circle. That Savannah and I have worked really hard. There's been a whole lot of sacrifices, to figure out what we're doing, how we're going to do it, and ultimately show the public what we're doing. So yeah, the award I was overcome with emotion. Yeah, I couldn't even really say a whole lot to the crowd. So it was very much appreciated. Thank you guys again.
I think your point is valid for all of the entrepreneurs that we have. If you really knew what it was to be a small business person, you probably wouldn't do it. Because you're on marketing team, you're on CPA, you're making a million mistakes that are agony in your mind at 2 o'clock in the morning.
You bet.
All of that resonates. So I hope that you're taking a moment to enjoy the beautiful product that you're producing. And we're so proud of what you're doing in Ouachita Parish. I know it's truly a labor of love. So
it is, and I appreciate you guys noticing what we're trying to accomplish there.
Well, how can people find out more about Thirsty Farmer?
Our website is www.thirstyfarmerwines.com.
Okay.
We're very active on social media through Facebook and Instagram. All of our events, anything that we have upcoming is always posted online as far as on social media. So that's probably the best way.
Great. Well, I hope everyone will come out and enjoy your product. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Chamber Chats, filmed live at Louisiana Delta Community College. For information about Thirsty Farmer or any of our members, you can find information online at westmonroechamber.org. Thanks for joining us.